Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, and this is my daily vlog. Something that I do every morning, every work day. I get up, get in front of this camera, and talk about my experiment to try to take content creation from part-time to full-time ever since I was laid off last year. So let's get started talking about yesterday. So yesterday was, I came into it after a long weekend, energized, and I stayed energized. So it wasn't just a placebo effect. It really was. I felt really, now all the things in my mind, I think I said yesterday, I wish there was multiples of me to get it done. I didn't do the many things I had in my mind, but those things are still stacked up. Yesterday morning was podcast editing day. More than a dozen of you popped in yesterday during the Twitch stream to say hello, or to renew your Amazon, your free Prime sub, or to just chat or listen to the background. So grateful. Thank you for being there. And as a result, I was able to get the entire recording, the whole show, which was a long recording. I think it went about 1:20. But just able to stay with it, and that's what those recording sessions do for me, is keep me motivated and get that done. And so that pod is fully edited. I really just have to do some ticking some boxes and attaching images and linking tags and stuff to be ready to go out tomorrow. So once that was done in the morning, I was pretty much washed my hands of the podcast for the day and was able to get back from lunch and jump into a long form video, one of the several that I have in mind. And this was, I'll put a link to this up in the corner. This is a little gadget that I picked up at a thrift store over the weekend. And I've learned over the last little bit because of the type of content I create, that thrift stores can really be your friend, because in this case, you never know what kind of story you're going to find. It's anybody can go online and buy a thing. It's when you find something in the wild that's old or still working or cheap or whatever. And in this case, it was a triple hitter, right? So it was old, it was cheap, and it was still working. But I didn't know that. It was this gadget I got for $2. And you can tell the story. Well, I got it for $2. I don't know if it works. Let's clean it up. Let's check it out. Let's find out about it. And I think those are stories that everybody's interested in, because everybody is hoping to come across a gem in the wild. And this is what happened. And so that video overnight has done, just since I published it, a little over 2,000 views already. That puts it in the upper half, kind of metric-wise, of the last 10 videos I published. So I'm happy with that, and I'm staying with, it'd be hard to get me out of the groove of stick with the things that you enjoy, John, because those are the things that are working. So when people suggest, what if you do this video and that video, and I could talk about ceiling fans, but I'm not interested, and who's going to watch, right? So even if it's trending, but this sticking with the things that I find interesting is really working, and I'm happy that video, which was admittedly a little bit of a test to see, is this the kind of thing that can still hit? It's not Atari, right? So there's been a ton of Atari stuff, and I definitely am ranked for Atari, so I'm going to cover Atari news. But as I make sure you don't find where the walls are until you walk out in the dark and find out what's out there. And so this was a good experiment. That one went well. So let's talk about stats. I said yesterday that I was hopeful to be able to tell you today we crossed a milestone, and we did. So probably midday yesterday, we crossed over 27.4, and we're now at 27,430, I think, last time I looked. So probably within, by today or tomorrow, since we're averaging between 30 to 50 a day, I would say. So I would say safe money by Friday we'll roll into 27.5, another full 5,000. So not the velocity we had, but velocity that you can hang your hat on. So it's still humming along pretty well. Let's talk about today then. So today I have two main plans today. I'm gonna start with doing a short video to publish today. I know which one already. I'm gonna pick it. It's a fun one to do, so I'm gonna get that one knocked out. That way I have new content going out there. And there are two. I can either work on the big long form project, the restoration project, which I want to work on at some point. But I have another one I want to work on that requires a bunch of video capture, but I think it has huge potential. And this is the one that one of our viewers here, I don't want to spoil it, one of our viewers of the vlog here suggested this video to me, and I've been running with it. And If I could get enough done today, I think it's something I could get out by the end of the week or Saturday. And so even on a short week, I could get 2 long forms out. So I think that would be good. And if I either bore of that or I get done with a section of that, I think I might come in here and work on shooting some more of the long form restoration project. Because I would like to get all of that in the can so I can then work on assembling how I'm going to shoot the parts and get all the stand-ups done. Wouldn't it be awesome if I could get that done by next week? Really, I think I said last week it's probably a week or 2 out, not because I'm slowing down, but because it's reaching a critical mass where it's a lot of editing. It's a lot of work to do, so and coordination. So, and then this evening is recording for the 1980s Now show. So I get to hang out with Kat and Will again tonight, and that's going to button up my day. It's plenty to keep me busy. Before I go, I want to mention a really cool thing happened overnight. I got a note yesterday morning. So a longtime follower of GenXGrownUp and supporter of GenXGrownUp reached out to me for a project that he's doing. I'm not going to blow him up here. He visits periodically. This is a longtime supporter, a talented guy, successful author and entrepreneur. And I don't know why he supports us so much, but I'm so grateful for his support. But he reached out to me directly for a project that he and his collaborator are doing, and they're looking for a voice talent to narrate this project that they're doing. And I was his choice. And he said, look, I know you're busy with GenXGrownUp and doing all this stuff. I don't want to take away from that because I want that to succeed, but will you have time for this if you wanted? And for 2 reasons that I absolutely wanted to do this. The first and primary one was he has been such a huge supporter that I don't want to tell him no, because it's how do you pay back that gratitude? How do you pay that back other than to repay it in kind? And so his support means I want to support his projects as well. The other is that this is a paying voice gig. And I have to assume he chose it because of my voice. It's certainly not because of my face or my personality. So I'm guessing it's because my voice is a good fit for what it is he wants to do. But it's a paying gig that it's like a weekly bit of money that will help to, not only will it take the pressure off of me financially a little bit more, right? It's not going to pay the rent, but it's absolutely going to pay, and it's going to help me relax. It's going to extend my runway. It's going to adjust my financials to tell me how long can I do this. This is it made sense all around. Even if I didn't have time for it, which I would have made time for him, it made sense in order to put a cash infusion into my war chest in order to continue this project. Because as we know right now, if the project stayed this velocity until the end of the year, not enough to sustain me. There are possibilities of spikes. We know that. We've seen them. And spikes can mean a huge new plateau, but you have to wait for them to get here. You have to find the right things to trigger them. The more time I can invest in waiting for and working toward a critical mass for GenXGrownUp, the better the chance of success. And this project that I was so generously offered and could not wait to accept means that once a week I'll record a little bit for his project, and that's going to put money into my pocket in order to sustain me, and even it's going to go into my ledger and extend the runway for what I'm doing with GenXGrownUp. And it's speechless. Really, I mean, it's just so humbling and flattering that somebody, there are hundreds of millions of people on the planet you could pick from to work with on a project, and he decided that I was the one that was right for his. And plus it benefits me and us and what we're doing and this project, and hopefully him and his collaborator. It was fantastic. And so I bring it up to you, like, this is not a humble brag. This is not a, guess what somebody called me for. This is very much a, look what can happen if you just stay the course and you just keep doing the good work and you keep being honest. If you have any modicum of talent at all, someone will recognize something somewhere, and it can help. I mean, this is not a game changer, but this is definitely in the game. This is it's a game. It's getting in there and giving me more to work with and more to chew on, and a longer ramp that I can use to get to where I want to get with this project. So, you know who you are. I'm not going to blow you up unless you want to talk about your project, but I know you watch the vlog, and I want to thank you for reaching out to me. And you know how meaningful your support always has been, and now that support is furthering. That's all I can think of. The opportunity for us to accomplish what I'm trying to do here. So it was a really good couple of days, a really good yesterday, and now I'm going to get after, hopefully, a really good today. So with that, I want to thank you all for stopping in to check out the vlog if that's what you did today. If you're here every day, you know who you are. I love you for that. Thank you for being part of my support system. Get me up in the morning every morning. Have a good Wednesday. Do something good for yourself if you can. And I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.